spark is. See, anybody can feel good when they have their health, their bills are paid, they have happy relationships. Anybody can be positive then. Anybody can have a larger vision then. Anybody can have faith under those kinds of circumstances. The real challenge of growth, mentally, emotionally, and spiritually, comes when you get knocked down. It's a real one. Now, their willpower is working probably very well, but it is directing them toward the expression of the old unwanted image that they're still emotionally involved with. See, the old image is being expressed through the behavioral patterns that will cause the repeated manifestation of the old image. Let's go, let's go. Good morning, family. Roz and Sean, ready for the day. TGIM. The growth includes Monday. Fired up. Another blessed week is lined up and ready to go. We are expecting and we are getting miracles. This is going to be a great end to the rest of the month for abundance in April. So I'm excited. I got a great topic for everybody coming into the week to go ahead and kick it off with a bang. Mrs. JoJo in the building. I love to see it, family. I've been seeing the ka-chings. I've been seeing the quantum leaps. I've been seeing everything that is flowing right here, and I'm so happy to see it because I know it is only just the beginning. So let me go ahead and get live on IG, and as always, let's get a little bit of gratitude down below before we go ahead and get started into the day. Got a great topic to go ahead and get into for the week, so let's go ahead and get into it. All right, today we're going to be talking about habits to dominate the rest of the year, right? This is big. This is going to be a big one because I've been taking notice. I've been looking around. I've been being very intentional and seeing what is it that others that are doing, that are winning at a very high level. What is it that those are doing that feel stuck, that feel stagnant? So today I've got a very intentional training to go ahead and get everybody into gear, moving full force, tunnel vision, and ready to go. So I'm grateful for God, family. I'm grateful to be alive. I'm grateful for the family. I'm thankful for the dream team. I'm grateful for the lessons. I'm so glad to be able to get deep with this morning routine. Today is day 266. Really getting deep with the feeling, really envisioning, manifesting, visualizing what it is that we're about to do before it even happens. So family, drop your challenges down below. Pat yourself on the back and just know all of this is leading to where it is that we're going. So grateful. Let's go ahead and get into the day. You ready? Here we go. Got a fire training, family. So we're going to be talking about habits to go ahead and dominate the rest of the year, right? So from getting back from the event, from getting back from the lock-in, from picking all of the chairman's brains, there's certain habits, right, that a lot of them really understand at a very high level. And this is a big reason why it is that they're seeing the success that they're seeing, and it could be from any different avenue, right? That people are winning from all angles right now, whether it be trading, e-commerce, building a brand. So it's safe to say that once we get these habits, once we get these rituals in check, everything else is most of the time is going to follow. You ready? So here we go. I've got, let me see how many habits I have for you guys. I have about right around 6, okay? About 6 habits. So stick with me for about 15 minutes. The first habit, you ready, is going to be known as stop changing our minds, okay? Stop changing our mind. Here's what they were talking about overseas with this. This is an overseas training right here, by the way, okay? So if you want to know why they're killing it at such a high level, this is one of the trainings why, right? So number 1 is going to be stop changing your mind. Talked about it is costing friendships, it's costing relationships, it's causing, problems inside of our business. Every single business we do it's going to be hard, it's going to be good, it's going to have the bad, it's going to have the ugly, right? It doesn't matter what it is that we do, anything that we go ahead and we start getting into the gist of it, there's no running away from this, family. Nothing that we do is perfect. Nothing is just going to be straight downhill, and there's no roadblocks, and there's no obstacles, right? If it was that easy, everybody would do it. Everybody would be in this industry. Everybody would be trading. Everybody would be building their store. But you see, there's little habits that's crucial to be learned along the way to really go ahead and make this thing roll the way it's supposed to.
right? So number one is just understanding to stop changing our mind. The second thing is get a little bit difficult. The second that we put out a couple products and they're not getting any ka-chings, we start putting out a couple trades and they're not all working in our favor. Okay. I know what this is like. And at the beginning, it's kind of like meditating, right? You see, at the beginning, when somebody starts to try to get into meditating, they sit there for like 5 seconds, they sit there for like 10 seconds, and the mind starts going everywhere. They all of a sudden they want to move, they want to get up, they want to stop the meditation because they haven't learned how to go ahead and still the mind and be quiet inside of the mind, right? Well, the same thing happens with business and success. Okay, you see, with entrepreneurship, it's different than a job. When we go to a job, we do the work, we get paid. We do the work, we get paid. Well, with entrepreneurship, sometimes we might test a couple products maybe for a couple weeks, for 2 weeks, and then we find that one product that makes up for the next 3 months of time, right? So it's understanding that quitting is one of the biggest killers inside of this industry, right? Some that see a new shiny ball and they stop and they go try something new, not knowing that if they were to just beat on that craft for 90 days, be a student, ask questions, plug in, success is inevitable. So number one, the biggest habit is to stop changing our mind. Okay, let's go ahead and put the vision on paper. Let's pick what we're ready to go ahead and specialize and master, and then let's go run the play. Right? That's what I did with trading. I said for 90 days, for 6 months, I don't know what I'm doing yet, but I'm gonna learn this thing, and I'm not changing my mind. So every night for 6 months, at midnight, at 2 a.m., was locked in to the sessions. And it's crazy to think about. Years later, I'm unemployable because we've been able to learn some of these skill sets. So just know it is worth it because these are long term and not something we're just studying for a test or for a grade. Okay. So number one is big. Stop changing the mind, right? Number two, the second habit is going to be known as arguing with words. Okay. Arguing with words. Jim Rohn said it in one of his audios. He was saying, I never argue with anybody because from far away, we both look like fools, right? So inside of the training, here's what they got into. Okay. They were talking about the best way to win an argument in business is to actually just go out and perform, right? As I started, and it's funny, I go back and think about years ago, nobody believed me. Nobody could see what I saw. Not my family, not my best friends, not the people that were even closest to me. So I started realizing I can keep talking all day long, every day. But you know what I really realized? When it comes to anybody, most time if they're in our circle, if they're on social media, people don't necessarily listen to what it is that we say, but they watch what it is that we do, right? They don't listen to as much as what we say, but they watch what we do. This is why consistency is one of the biggest pieces of this industry, and honestly, in any business. They say it takes consistency to get there, it takes persistence to stay there. So this is huge, right? Anybody that didn't believe me as I started to level up, I started to realize, let me just kill them with my success. Let me kill them with my work ethic. Let me kill them with the performance. And over time, as time started to go by, people started to see how real this thing actually was. You see, I want to give you guys an example. You ready? There was people along my journey. Okay, I'll give you such a funny story. Okay, there's people that said, D, once you join, I'll go ahead and make money. Right? I used to argue with people at the beginning, but then I started to realize it's not even worth my time. Because here's what people would say: D, once you make money, then I'm ready to join. Then I'm ready to go ahead and take the next step. Well, I made money and they still weren't ready to join. Then they'd say, D, I want to go ahead and see you travel, and then I'll go ahead and join. Then I'll be ready to go ahead and do the same thing. Went out and traveled over to 35 different states. They still weren't ready to join. D, once you retire your mother, then I'll be ready to go ahead and join. Mother's retired. She never has to work again. They still haven't joined. Moral of the story is somebody is always going to have an excuse. And the second part I could put with that is I can almost guarantee you, all of us on this call, anybody that's listening, we're going to make more impact with strangers than most time our close friends and our close circle, because we say it all the time. For most of us, it takes our strangers to go ahead and celebrate us before our friends actually come back and support us. So even for myself, I can count on both of my hands how many of my best friends are actually in my business, right? But all of you think about that. Every one of us on this call, we met through social media. We met through people that we met through online. So it just goes to show that at the end of the day, you never know, right? So I don't argue with small-minded people anymore. I don't argue with individuals that don't see the vision. You know why? Because I know, number one, there's 7 billion people out there. Number two, I know how many are begging for this information, how many are looking to find a way to make money from home, a way to make multiple streams, a way to make money while they are sleeping. Because to me, in the next 12 to 18 months, it's not a matter of if people are going to be ready to change. It's simply just a matter of when. Because that time is going to get, that string is going to get so thin to where they're finally going to realize, just like COVID, I need to do something different. So for me, I don't argue with anybody anymore. You don't believe in crypto, you don't believe in e-commerce, you don't believe in getting paid for building a brand on social media, that's fine. We're going to go ahead and kill them with success, stay consistent, and keep attracting big leaders in our organization just by understanding how crucial we are in this timing right now, in this little window that we have. So I don't argue with anybody anymore, right? I went from being a wordsmith, watch this, write this down. I went from being a wordsmith to a worker and a performer, right? A wordsmith. This is somebody that likes to talk a lot. Just as I told you guys all the time, people don't necessarily listen to what we say. They watch what we do. They watch us doing the events. They watch us showing up on the Go Lives. They watch us taking notes. They watch us asking questions to our mentor. And very few can actually argue with results, because when all of those things are in line, feel me, the results, they're inevitable. And let me tell you, it's so different speaking about the business when you have ka-chings coming in, when we have withdrawals, when people are excited. So this is just, it just comes naturally with all of these little habits that start getting put into place. Okay. So next, here's the next part. We're accountable for ourselves. Okay. Our success is a direct result of what it is that we do. This is so important to understand. Even for myself, I got to a point where I had to realize, yes, leveraging is huge, but at the same time, my mentor is going to be able to do everything for me. Chino wasn't going to be able to get on the Go Lives for me. Chino wasn't going to be able to call my people for me. Chino wasn't going to be able to put out the content for me. I had to make decisions. So you know what? This is my business. These are my accounts. I'm ready to go ahead and take full responsibility of them. And that's what I did. I became really consistent with Go Live. I became obsessed with reaching out and asking questions. I became obsessed with literally just bettering myself every day. And over time, it starts to add up. And that's why it's so wonderful to see you all doing the same thing. This is why you're getting ka-chings. This is why your energy is elevated. This is why your frequency is at a different level, because of showing up, because of asking questions, because of plugging in and becoming accountable for yourselves. But here's the second piece. Okay, if I were to give you a second piece, is to find an accountability partner at the same time. Yes, to be accountable to ourselves is huge, right? What we practice in private gets praised in public. But at the same time, I know how powerful it is to also have an accountability partner, right? Drop some threes down below. Once again, if you guys like going to the gym with an accountability partner. I love going by myself, but at the same time, I know that I can lift a little bit more weight with somebody that's spotting me, with somebody that's giving me some assistance, somebody that's giving me a little bit more encouragement. Same thing happens with this business. Accountability is huge. So to be able to find an accountability partner is going to be a huge help, whether that be getting up in the morning, setting up the store, going to the gym. So accountability is going to be huge. Okay? Accountability, watch this, write this down. Here's what they said. Accountability is the glue which ties commitment to results. All right, I'll say that one more time. Accountability is the glue which ties commitment to results. Okay, so this is big. Next, check this out. The quality, now we're getting into relationships, right? Building phenomenal relationships, building powerful relationships. Said the quality of our relationships determine 90% of success and happiness inside of our life. Huge. Go ahead and put a star around this one right here. The quality of our relationships determine 90% of the success and the happiness we have in our life. And it's so funny when I heard this part of the training, I just went back and thought about how true this really is, right? When I was getting out of college, my relationships were great. I was best friends with some of the top student athletes. A lot of the school knew me, but here's the deal, right? Number one, I never utilized my connections. I didn't understand the power of actually being able to put some of these strengths together. You see, there was individuals in my school who were very nerdy, who had some powerful skill sets that I didn't have. There were other individuals that had a huge network that I could be able to go ahead and tap into. There were individuals that were great in school that I could go ahead and learn from in different aspects. So it's actually funny. There was one person, and I'll never forget it. As I graduated college, one person introduced me to the power of learning how to trade, the power of crypto, the power of learning what is that we're learning now. And it just went to show me that it takes one call, it takes one class, it takes one sentence, it takes one DM, it takes one follow to completely change the path in our life. So I've been able to realize how crucial relationships are. You know, they have this saying, we are the average of the 5 people that we hang out with, that we associate with, right? Well, that was me. My 5 that I was around getting out of college was broke. So guess where I was? I was number 5. I was broke. So I knew I knew the next step was to change my circle of influence, right? There's a reason why they say our network equals our net worth. So that was the first thing. I wanted to find individuals who are winning in the areas that I wanted to win in life. Who were those that were traveling? Who were those that were trading, having their money work for them? Who were those that were around the 1%ers that were my age? So I could go out and create the relationship, pick their brain. And the formula is, if we do what they do, we can get what it is that they get. The only difference is, Chino always told me this. He said, D, the only difference between me and you is simply just time. I've been looking at these charts a little bit longer than you. I've been studying this information a little bit longer than you. The only thing that's left is for time to catch up. That's why I say that every day, because I know for every one of us, it's inevitable. All right, here we go. I've got a couple more for you. Stick with me. Our last one is going to be habit number 5. Is going to be fixing yourself, right? Fixing ourselves, okay? When we get ourselves right, the world will become right. When we start to change ourselves, then things will begin to change for us. And I noticed this over the years. The second that I really started getting intentional, saying, you know what? I'm done blaming everybody. I used to blame everybody. Used to blame my father, used to blame my girlfriend, used to blame, my best friends around me for why I wasn't seeing success. Until I started to realize every time that we point the finger and we blame somebody, well, if you look at what's really happening, one finger is pointing out towards them, but we have all of these fingers that are pointing back at us. So I had to start to realize, you know what, at the end of the day, maybe the problem isn't everybody else. Maybe the problem is me. Maybe there's lessons that I need to learn. Maybe there's situations that I need to grow through. And that's exactly what happened. It forced me to start journaling. It forced me to start getting up earlier. It forced me to start calling and reaching out to my mentor. I wasn't good at asking questions. I wasn't good at waking up. I wasn't great at public speaking. But I knew that all of these different areas, when I could get myself right, the world was going to open up. When I started getting more confident, when I could start putting myself out a little bit more, guess what happened? Start attracting more higher level individuals. Started getting the realization that a lot of this is not as hard as we like to make it. The more we do it, nothing gets easier. We just get better. So a lot of this, a lot of success comes from not externally. A lot of the time, the magic happens right here. The belief, knowing that we can do it, knowing that we can learn these skill sets, knowing that in 2023, we can absolutely create an abundant life, but it starts with being able to believe it, being able to get in place these habits and rituals, being able to take action, and most importantly, being able to stay consistent with these. You see, it does none of us any good to go ahead and put these habits down on paper and to run the play for a couple of days and to run the play for a week, and then we go right back to our old selves. I know what that's like. I've done it many, many times. So simply one of the biggest things any of us can do is to be able to stay consistent with what it is that we said we are going to do. So family, with that being said, that is my training for everybody on how to go ahead and utilize these different habits to dominate the rest of 2023 and make this one of the best years that we have had yet. So if you got any value from today, family, go ahead and drop some threes down below. Smash that like button and let me know who's excited, who's ready to go ahead and take massive action coming into this next 90-day sprint into Cancun. Because I'm going to tell you right now, watch, mark my words, you're going to start seeing it even this week. There's going to be so many flyers, so many ka-chings, so much abundance, so much flowing in. And none of it is going to be coincidence because we planted the seeds. So, family, we are in the right position, right place, right time, right people to go ahead and take advantage. So, with that being said, I love you, family. It is your favorite entrepreneur, Define Dreams. If nobody told you today, I believe in you. You are powerful. You are great. You are unstoppable. It just takes you to go out and believe it. And remember, we can be, do, and have anything that we can hold in our mind. We can hold it right here in our hand. Have a great day. Have a phenomenal week, family. Dream team, let's go out and make it happen. Let's get to work. It's game time.